The countdown to Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin starts right here, right now. Press conference gets underway in a few minutes. They're saying it's a new dawn, new time maybe even. DAZN Boxing Show is live. London is calling ahead of a new dawn as Anthony Joshua launches his bid to become a three-time heavyweight champion of the world. Standing in his way on the first step is Jermaine Franklin. We're going to hear from both men today, as well as the undercard on a huge night live on DAZN. Welcome inside the Nobu Hotel, the absolutely fantastic Nobu Hotel as well, isn't it? Really is nice. Adi Oladipo alongside former IBF middleweight champion Darren Barker. We're here. It's the big one. It feels like it's taken a long time to get here. Another AJ fight, right? It feels like it's been a while, but this is a big one. It always feels special when it's Anthony Joshua. New dawn, they're calling it. What do you make of that, Buzz?
Yeah, well, I think that is the correct label for this because it is the new dawn. 2 defeats in his last 2 fights, so this is the next coming of AJ, if you like. Some pressure. Yeah, some pressure coming into this fight because, look, he needs to win. He needs to win, and not only win, he's going to have to look good to remain one of the top players in the division. So, you know, there's some questions to be asked and answered, and look, I'm buzzing for it, mate.
You know what I'm very intrigued about, and people are always obsessed with this, aren't they? AJ's size. Yeah. A lot of people saying he's a lot bigger. I always feel like AJ's optimum weight is around 17.5 stone. Some people think he might be touching that 18 stone barrier. Jermaine Franklin, on the other hand, is coming a lot lighter. Who's got it right here? If AJ has gone bigger and Jermaine Franklin's gone lighter, who's got it correct?
We'll find out Saturday evening, won't we, about 11 o'clock, half 11 at night. Look, he looks well, though, AJ. Yeah. He looks well. But, look, we know about AJ. There's a lot of questions, again, like I said, that need to be answered. Has he still got the desire? How have those 2 defeats affected AJ? But on the other hand, Franklin, he's a very good fighter. Yeah. Very good fighter. We see it against Dillian Whyte.
Did he surprise you?
He did surprise me. I think he will take a lot of confidence from not just that fight itself, the build-up to that fight. He could have quite easily have been overawed by the occasion, being in the away, being the away fighter. In the Lions den, we know Dillian Whyte's well supported, but Franklin, he come in there, he showed his worth, he showed he's a very good fighter, quick hands, he can move, he showed a very good chin, which you're going to need to against AJ. So, look, this is a proper opponent for AJ. You know, that I've seen a lot of people out there sort of rubbishing Franklin. You don't know your boxing then. I'm sorry, you don't know your boxing. This guy can fight. So that's why I feel there's pressure on AJ going into this one. Not only does he have to win and look good, he's in there with a good fighter. Yeah.
How's he going to handle this, though, Jermaine Franklin? I mean, this is all new to him, isn't it? Yes, he done well against Dillian Whyte, and it was a good performance. But the press conference, he was at the red carpet event the other day. Yeah. All the media obligations, that's all new. How does a fighter handle that?
Well, like I say, this is on a different magnitude. We get that. We do get that. There's fights and then there's AJ fights. And look, we can just see here the clips, though, of Franklin. Look, the short left hooks inside, slipping and sliding. You've got to remember, he won a National Golden Gloves title back in the States. This guy knows how to fight. You can see they're showing his toughness, backing up the bigger man in Dillian Whyte. And look, he felt hard done by at the end. But I think those occasions in that fight, though not as big as this, will help him. The confidence that he can take from being there before. But look, as much as AJ is up against it in some extent, Franklin certainly is.
What I like is that both of them have disappeared for fight camps. Last time, Jermaine Franklin went to Fury's fight camp. Not this time, he stayed in America. Yeah. AJ, we haven't really seen much with him as well. Obviously with Derek James, so both of them know how important it is, and it's almost like they've locked themselves away to make sure the job gets done on Saturday.
Yeah, because it's so important what's on the line. You know, a win for AJ gets him back nearer to fighting for those titles again. Franklin wins this. I mean, he's on the cuffs of a title fight himself.
Yeah, AJ there, as you can see, training away in Dallas, Texas. New trainer as well, and Derek James, alongside the likes of Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo, Frank Martin. I mean, he's been surrounding himself with dogs, right? Yeah. Because that's the thing everyone's been saying, haven't they, in the lead-up? AJ needs to bring the old-school dog mentality out. I don't know if that's necessarily true, But if it is, then he's in the right place.
To an extent, I think it is true, because I think that's why he put so many bums on seats. That's why he was so successful, aside from the fact that he can box. That excitement, that power. When AJ hits you, you stay here.
Yeah.
So we want to see him on the front foot, letting those shots go. We see it in a little clip there on the opener, the uppercut that he threw against Klitschko. I think that's a great shot in this fight. Against the shorter man, try and draw Franklin onto the uppercut. You know, you can take your head
what I'm
off.
a big fan of?
Go on.
The tree chopping.
I
love that bit of Rocky.
You're a Rocky fan.
I'm a Rocky fan. When I see someone chopping trees, I know they're serious.
Yeah, it's true.
I know it gets serious. Well, what's in this for Jermaine Franklin? Everyone talks about AJ, and rightly so, right? He's the big favourite. But for Jermaine Franklin, what if he wins? The big upset. What next for him? I mean, where does he go?
He'll be asking for the Wilder fight, the Fury fight. Because, you know, however you rank these, there's obviously Fury, Usyk 1 and 2. Then you've got AJ, Wilder, however you have those two. Then Franklin's there. He's there. He'll be calling for his shot. I want Wilder. I want this. You know, you're talking about he's going to earn fortunes from this fight. He'll want to be chipping away and adding pounds, dollars to his bank account. But he'll start believing, if he beats AJ, that he can win. That he can beat anyone, that he can win world titles. So he'll be calling out all the big names. This takes his career to a whole new stratosphere. Yeah,
we're going to hear from both Anthony Joshua and Jermaine Franklin at the press conference, and they're going to join us here as well. AJ's been saying some things this week. I think one of the things that have caught a lot of people's ears is that if he loses, he retires. Now, I don't know if that was tongue-in-cheek. I don't know if that's to motivate him. Yeah. But it is a long way back if he does lose.
Yeah, look, he has that fan base, AJ, and there, you know, we heard about talks of a world tour, etc. These things could still happen, but not on the scale that he'd want them to. You know, he needs to be winning. He needs to be beating the likes of Jermaine Franklin if he wants to be that main man again. Do you know what I mean? Winning titles. So I can totally understand why people are saying it, and I can understand why Anthony Joshua is saying it himself. He's earned all the money in the world. How much more money do you need? Yeah. You know, he's earned world titles. The only thing missing, I mean, he's got the Olympic gold medal. The only thing that's missing is being the undisputed world champion. You know, and
that's the one, isn't it?
It's the one, and he does have something to fight for, which is important.
Indeed it is, indeed it is. Look, AJ versus Franklin is exclusive and only on DAZN. You can't watch it anywhere else. Make sure you watch it. This is truly going to be one of the main events you want to miss.
The new dawn of Anthony Joshua. Live exclusively on DAZN. Rising with a clear mission. Come back stronger. Full focus. Working around the clock. From dawn till dark. Restless. Relentless. Ready. Redemption is in the ring. Witness the rise. Live only on DAZN.
By the way, I'm a massive, massive fan of that piece. I think it's fantastic. If that doesn't get you excited for AJ Franklin, I'm not quite sure what will. Joshua Franklin does kick off a mega month of fights on DAZN. Next Saturday also sees Jesse Bam Rodriguez face Christian Gonzalez in a fight in a fortnight. It's and this is a huge doubleheader. Starting in Cardiff, where Joe Cordino challenges Shavkat Rakhimov for the IBF Super Featherweight title. Then later that night, an eagerly anticipated lightweight showdown as Gervonta Davis faces Ryan Garcia. It's a decent lineup, isn't it?
Not bad at all, mate.
I like that one. I like that one indeed. All right, look, now it's time to focus on the weekends. Let's hand over to the chairman of Matchroom Sport, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to London. Feels quite strange to be saying this. It's Anthony Joshua Fight Week. He returns to the O2 Arena 7 years after his last appearance, defending his world heavyweight title against Dominic Breazeale. This time in an absolute must-win fight against America's Jermaine Franklin. Live and exclusive on DAZN around the world, of course, via its normal means of app, iPhone, tablet, smart TV, and now, of course, on your Sky boxes, on your Virgin boxes, and available in pubs. Tremendous news for all DAZN customers and fight fans around the UK as well. We have two press conferences here today. Of course, the main event press conference coming shortly, but first, a star-studded undercard of some fantastic international talent ready to perform on the biggest of stages as Anthony Joshua makes his turn back at the O2 on Saturday night. Where to start? Let's start with two people that have been in camp with Anthony Joshua in Dallas, two very talented fighters, Peter Kadiru and Jürgen Uldajaj. Jürgen, firstly, welcome. 15-0, massive opportunity for you on this card. Been a big part of that camp with Anthony Joshua and ready to perform on Saturday night.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm happy to be here and I'm excited for this opportunity that's given to me. It's a pleasure to be part of this big platform and I'm looking forward for Saturday night.
AJ has a great relationship with the sparring partners. It really is one big team. Obviously adamant that you and Peter were part of this card as well. It's been a great camp for him. He always looks great, but you expect to get the job done on Saturday night in style for you and then take your seat for the big man to do the business around 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be around AJ and I'm excited for his comeback fight as well and yeah.
Look forward to seeing you in action. Peter, welcome.
I hope on Saturday night Eddie's gonna get impressed and finally get a contract. So because I'm ready for the big fights. I'm ready for the
Good. Well, I'm going to be sat in my seat watching, ready to see entertainment from you, my friend. Peter, big opportunity for you as well. I saw you spar in Dallas just a few weeks ago. You look great. You've had a great camp out there as well. Big fight for you as well. Time to progress and have a big 2023 in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, definitely. It was a long camp, hard camp. Yeah, man, I'm really grateful for this opportunity here. I want to thank 258. I want to thank Peter, Box Promotion, also Matchroom. Yeah, and my brother, Derek Chisora. And yeah, I'm looking forward for the fight. I'm ready to go, and yeah.
Good, and of course, a great camp out there with Derek James in Dallas. Saw you in the gym with Errol Spence as well. It's been a great experience. Obviously, already a big name in Germany, but great to be part of a big fight card in the UK.
Yeah, it was my first time being in a camp outside of Germany that long. So it was a whole new experience for me. And I learned a lot in Dallas. And yeah, I'm ready to show this on Saturday.
Right, look forward to seeing you both in action in the heavyweight division on Saturday night. A couple of young undefeated fighters who get the opportunity to perform on the big stage at the O2. John Hedges. John, you've boxed at the O2 before, never on an Anthony Joshua card. Big moment for you, local as well, a lot of support, and stepping up now to 8 rounds in some serious fights as you look to challenge for your first title later in the year.
Yeah, exactly that, Eddie. Obviously, this is my fourth fight at the O2 now, and it's only me 8 fights. I've been very privileged to have these opportunities, thanks to yourself and the Matchroom banner. And yeah, like you say, I want to start stepping it up now. I've got a record opponent in Daniel Bosianski, and I'm looking to do the job in style. I had a great camp. It's ready to go now.
We've seen you really grow from boy to man over the last couple of years. You feel that as well now, like you said, 8 fights in, and getting stronger, ready to step up the rounds as well, and really feel yourself growing into that position now. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm putting the weight on, and it's gradually. Do you know what I mean? So it's obviously my maturity. I'm 20 years of age, and I'm on my 8th fight, so I'm doing something right. It's just about taking the right fights, right time, progressing nicely. And like you say, we're on the 8 rounders now. Let's start getting these and then put our eyes on a title. Forward to seeing you in action on Saturday, as I am undefeated. Jordan Flynn, part of the 258 team. Great fight against Kane Baker. Kane is, I'm sorry to say this, Jordan, but one of our favourites. He's part of the Matchroom family, been part of Fight Camp, and always gives us tremendous fights. But for you, Jordan, again, part of the 258 team, great platform, a really good fight against Kane Baker, who always comes to fight.
Yeah, no, definitely. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you for the opportunity to yourself, Eddie, to 258, my management, for this opportunity on the big stage. I feel like I deserve to be here. This is where I should be. And yeah, it's a good opponent. My mic's working, yeah. It's definitely a step up, and it's a step up that I'm ready for. I feel like the better opponent I face, the better I'm going to fight, and you're going to see that on Saturday night.
Kane, always come to fight. O2 Arena for you, Anthony Joshua card. We know you love this sport, and ready to put in another great performance on Saturday.
100% blessed to be here. Really am massive privilege something I thought that I wouldn't ever get to do was fight on the AJ Undercard, so I'm ticking off some boxes. Just massive thank you to you and everyone at Matchroom, and I'll turn up on Saturday and I'll be throwing leather all night, don't worry about that.
Look forward to that fight, Jordan Flynn against Kane Baker. Ziad Al-Maouf, welcome back, my friend. Welcome to everybody, part of your team from Saudi Arabia, Skills Challenge. Prince Khalid there, didn't see you. Welcome, my friend. Ravi, Mr. Chisora, of course, you know, certainly the most important person out in that part of the world for boxing. Ziad, I watched my favourite fight from the Jake Paul night was definitely your fight. I mean, it was exciting. The people were going crazy. You got knocked down. You came back. You won the fight. But now something different. And obviously, as an opportunity from a fighter from that region to fight on an Anthony Joshua card in London, a great moment for you and the people of Saudi Arabia as well.
Yeah. First, I just want to thank Prince Khalid and Skill Challenge Promotions, Matchroom, and 258 for this amazing opportunity. I mean, the shoulders you see on me right now carry a weight of so many, and the lightest of them is mine. But I'm here to represent, and this is what I love to do. You know, what happened last fight, maybe it's not what many wanted, but it was what was written. And I'm always ready to adapt to what's written. And nothing is going to change this fight. It's a new opportunity. I am the first Saudi to fight at the O2. The first Arab to fight at the O2. To many, maybe these are just small milestones, but I didn't think I'd be the first to even fight at my own local arena back home. So I'm here now. I can't stop smiling. I hardly believed it when Eddie Hearn just said my name right now. So we're here, and I'm here for a good show.
Do you feel maybe a little bit less pressure on you this time? I mean, last time in the arena, the crowd was going crazy and difficult to perform in those kind of circumstances sometimes. But this time, maybe just a chance to work on your boxing. But we know everybody back home going to be tuned in and watching you.
Every fight for me, I like to put the pressure on myself. You know, the pressure is something I welcome because it's such heavy pressure during camp. When you're putting that work, it gives you that push. But on fight night, when I'm representing that big pressure of my country in Saudi Arabia, that huge pressure of the Arab world, that pressure turns into a parachute and it turns into my cape. And I put that cape on fight night, and this is what I used to fly. And there's nothing more that I love to do than to put on a show and possibly even deliver that knockout blow.
Well, very good, very good. Look forward to seeing action this week, and obviously welcome to yourself, Skills Challenge, everybody. We look forward to a great show on Saturday night. Thank you. We go to the top table. Campbell Hatton out pretty much straight away. You boxed on the Liverpool show recently. And the team said, 258 said, get through that with no problems. We'd love to see him at the O2. The progress continues, the education continues, and another huge fight card to be a part of on Saturday.
Yeah, so it's basically an instant turnaround, which is exactly what we want. I think we're showing them improvements every time. We're on the 8-rounders, and it's going to bring the best out of me. I think I'll be much better over long fights because all my mistakes happen when I rush things, and having the extra few rounds is just going to benefit me. So I think we're going to see the best performance yet this weekend.
Obviously, always in great shape. Went through the 8 rounds comfortably at the week in Liverpool as well, just a couple of weeks ago. Another good step up for you on Saturday, but starting to really change the mentality now as you move towards the 8s and, of course, going towards 10 rounds as well later in the year.
Yes, the way I was boxing early on, it was clear that I was just too eager to please, and I was just trying to go 100 mile an hour with everything. And I think last time out I shown I am thinking about going up and down the gears and thinking about things, and it's going to be the same again this week and look to show a calculated performance. Louis,
welcome. Big opportunity for you as well. You know, for Campbell, it's a big card to be a part of, but for yourself, O2 Arena, Anthony Joshua card, and a lot of people tipping you to give Campbell some hard work on Saturday night.
Yeah, I just want to thank yourself and everyone in Matchroom for the opportunity. It's a massive stage to be on, so I'm privileged to be a part of it. And obviously fighting the likes of Campbell Hatton himself, obviously, you know, who he is with his dad, and it's a big name. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Been training hard, and it's a massive opportunity for me to kickstart my career on and get a good win under my belt.
obviously a big card, but also a big scout in Campbell Hatton. And is that part of the thought process behind taking this fight? You know that a victory on Saturday would put you in a great position for a big fight.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's there's always like, if there's no risk, there's no reward. So like, obviously, I know Campbell's a good kid and he's got good people around him. But me going and beating Campbell Hatton then propels me onto massive, bigger things.
Good fight, Campbell Hatton against Louis Fielding. Before we go on to Ammo Williams against River Wilson Bent, just to talk about the crazy world of boxing, which was we received the unfortunate news that Felix Cash would not be fit to fight on Saturday. We thought about what we'd do in the situation of the European middleweight title, and behind the scenes we knew that next week in San Antonio on a massive card on DAZN, Galal Yafai was expected to fight in a 10-round championship fight. When we made that fight, he had asked us if he could fight at the O2 on the AJ card, but it was full up. So when we got the news of Felix Cash, the first phone call that we made was to Galal Yafai and the McCrackens and said, don't suppose he wants to fight at a weekend again at the O2? The answer was yes within a nanosecond. And when I saw you, Galal Yafai, just over there a couple of minutes ago, you said, thank you, I'm absolutely over the moon to be fighting at the O2 on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, as you already probably know, I weren't looking forward to going over to San Antonio. But yeah, I like fighting in the UK. I don't get to fight here often. I fought here on my debut. Hopefully it's the same kind of night.
It's funny how things work. I was actually, trying to map out your fights for the year the other day, and I was thinking to myself, you debuted at the O2, you boxed at Madison Square Garden, you boxed in Abu Dhabi, and now you're boxing again in San Antonio. I was thinking he really needs that fight back in the UK. Of course, off the back of Olympic gold in Tokyo that you won, already world ranked, already a WBC international champion. Looking forward to, of course, the same opponent as well that was scheduled. He arrives tonight in the UK. It's a tough fight, this fight on Saturday night, but ready to make another statement.
Yeah, they're all tough fights. As you saw in my last fight, I got a bit of stick in that fight. I had my issues, but I get to prove them people wrong. I don't think I'm that good anymore. So we'll see it on Saturday night in the foreseeable future.
I know you're very calm, but does that criticism affect you? I mean, sometimes unfair, you're being thrown in against world-class fighters in your second, third fight in your career as well. Sometimes you're not going to get it all your way, but that was a fight that you had to actually, through the midway stage of that fight, looked like you could lose that fight unless you got yourself together. We know you had your problems that night, but to face that kind of adversity so early on in your professional career gives you great grounding for the future.
Yeah, the criticism that bother me, I'm not going to lie, I'd rather have people criticising me than people up my arse. Do you know what I mean? I've had that for the last year or two after the Olympics. But we'll see what happens in the future and we'll see how good I can be.
Well, I, for one, am over the moon to see you fight on Saturday. Olympic gold medalist Galal Yafai, in my opinion, one of the best young prospects in world boxing. Already ranked in the top 15 of the governing bodies, ready to make his charge at the world flyweight title this year, I believe. Will be fighting against Mexico's Caballeros on Saturday night, live on DAZN. We go back to that middleweight fight. Ammo Williams is here because we were building up to the Felix Cash fight. That fight's parked for now because on Saturday night, you may or may not know, you have a tough fight against River Wilson Bent. You have a Brit who always comes to fight. You're number 3 in the world with the WBA. This guy can steal all your rankings on Saturday night. I know how much you love to fight in the UK as well. Ready to put on a show for the UK fans on Saturday night.
Yes, first I want to give all the thanks and glory to God because I feel like he always moves things around for me in an amazing way. I was supposed to just be on this show doing commentary, and the hard work that I consistently put in had me ready to fight and to fight a actually good opponent. That's what I always want to do. That's what I aim for. I aim to fight guys who, I know they're going to come with the A game, especially when fighting me, because they feel like they can take a lot from me. And I've learned to just use that as fuel. I've learned to use that as my advantage because I can never slip up. I can never take a day off. I can never, get comfortable. So I'm very thankful for not only Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn. I'm thankful for fighters like River who are willing to take fights on short notice against somebody like me. He has a lot to gain. I have a lot to lose. But actually, I have a lot to gain as well because I'm a new fighter. I'm still taking these experiences and adding these accolades to my back pocket. So I need him just as much as he needs me.
You are a new fighter, but you're also number 3 in the world. You had your doubts about Felix Cash. We'll see what happens there, but you do want all the smoke. You want to come through here, and some of the names that you mentioned to me, you feel like you're ready for the very best in the middleweight division. You were willing to come over to London to fight Felix again, get through Saturday. Whatever happens, it's going to be a massive fight for you next.
Yeah, I definitely love experiences like this because River has a lot of advantages that, you know, people don't mention. I'm coming to his hometown. I'm coming somewhere where he's familiar, and you know, I'm coming here as the American, and I have to win decisively. I have to put on the best performance, but the greatest thing has happened for me. I feel like everything has come together. My vision in the ring is on a different level. I'm much more calculated than a young lion that you guys are used to seeing, just very explosive and you know, gunning for knockouts and things like that. Now the knockout will come, but it's calculated, and it's just a testament to the hard work that I've consistently put in. Never taking off, never pulling out a fight, always ready, always available when matchroom calls. And I'm now seeing the physical results of that in the ring, and I'm ready to showcase that on Saturday night.
Thank you, Emma. River, what a chance for you. I mean, fair play to you. You got the call, quick bit of negotiation, and you were all in for this fight. Yeah. Obviously, a massive chance to steal his rankings. O2 Arena, AJ card, massive night on Saturday.
Yeah, brilliant opportunity. Very grateful, thank you, Eddie and Matchroom, for this. I boxed 3 weeks ago Saturday, come out of the ring, chilling at home on Sunday, and got the phone call, do you want to box on the O2? At the O2, AJ undercard against Amma Williams. Obviously, I buzz in, I'm always ready, I'm always fit to be in these fights. And yeah, great opportunity.
Obviously, he's the favourite going into the fight, but at the same time, you're a very talented fighter. You are at home in the UK. He's still learning as well, but what a chance. I mean, literally take his World Championship rankings, you'll be top 10 with virtually every governing body. We'll just walk you into a massive fight if you win on Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Obviously, that's something that we want and that we're going for on Saturday night.
Good. Well, we look forward to a great fight. Ammo Williams against River Wilson Ben. And their co-feature on Saturday night, a fantastic heavyweight fight. Again, UK against USA. And I love this fight because this man to my right has all of a sudden, outside of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, become the most talked about heavyweight in the UK. You know, at one stage, just a white-collar fighter. Now, all of a sudden, English champion, British champion, and on everybody's list to call out, which is very, very nice of everybody and very, very rewarding for all the work that you've put in. Firstly, we'll go to Michael Coffey. Michael, welcome from the USA. This is a great fight. You know, I know you're coming off a couple of defeats, but one of those was a fantastic fight on ESPN as well. And I know you and your team, you like this fight. You fancy this fight, huge platform to put you back in line for massive fights in the world rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a fight that I actually was talking about a lot before the call even came, so I guess it just manifested itself.
Obviously, you do have experience, you know, in the professional game, as does Fabio. What do you see there? We have a raw fighter to my right that punches very hard, very explosive, very exciting as well. You've watched the tape as well. You fancy your chances in this fight?
Absolutely. To me, the only thing I'm seeing is a W. I know it's going to be a good fight. I expect it to be, you know, action-packed, difficult, but I'm ready to weather the storm.
And obviously the UK at the moment, home of some big heavyweights. Yeah. There'll be a lot of people watching in the UK and around the world. Victory on Saturday night puts you in line with all of those guys around world level, whether it's Joyce, whether it's Dubois, you know, even Fury and Dillian White and all those kind of people. Massive opportunity for you through victory.
Absolutely. That makes me excited, as a matter of fact. And I think you're going to like this one, for sure.
Thank you, Michael. Fabio, welcome. The frustration, I guess, of not defending the British title, we went through about 3 or 4 opponents. People like to conveniently call you out with a week to go. This is actually a really tough fight, isn't it? You know, someone that's very seasoned, someone that's very tough, someone that's boxed at a high level on big shows and big networks in America as well. A tougher fight than maybe just a standard defence of the British title, but looking forward to getting back to the O2 on Saturday night, coming off the back of a tremendous victory against Nathan Gorman.
Yeah, really buzzing to get back to the O2. It's turned into my home away from home. I think really I've boxed there, I don't know how many times now, 5 or 6, and I've said loads of times, there's nothing really beats a packed out O2 arena. That atmosphere, that buzz is something I live for, I thrive off. Like when I'm in the thick of it in a fight and the crowd's going nuts, and it's just one of those special moments that you don't get in any other arena really. And Saturday night's going to be the same. Is one thing I do is entertain the fans, however it comes. Maybe to the concern of maybe my team and stuff, I get myself in some sticky situations, but I live for those moments, that buzz and that thrill of the fight, and just really getting stuck in is all and everything I'm about.
I was just thinking back when you said that about, you know, the buzz of fighting at the O2, and I remember back to your early performances at the O2, where Dillian White would say to us, look, you know, we've got this heavyweight kid from Ipswich, I think he's got talent, and we'd put you on at, I don't know, 4:30, and you'd sell loads of tickets, and they'd all turn up early. On Saturday night, you're going to be boxing after 9 p.m, in front of 17,000 people, packed, everybody in their seats. You know, it's been a great journey, hasn't it, to get to where you are, and it really is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy journey from starting at white collar in a show that has maybe 200 people in to now at the O2 that's got 17,000 in. It's been a wild ride and a roller coaster, but I'm thankful for every day. I'm thankful for the opportunity. Like I said, I've boxed on and chief supported to some big cards in the past, but nothing beats an AJ card and nothing beats a packed out O2 arena. So those two things for me are going to bring out the best in me, and it's going to be a great performance again on Saturday.
For years you've been looking for those big fights, you've been looking for those names, those opportunities, and all of a sudden everybody starts calling your name out. I've seen call-out videos, I've seen terrible ones, I've seen decent ones. You know, we've got Fraser Clark, you know, Sol Dakers, who we represent, got the English title, that's a great fight as well. David Adelaide, I saw some video the other day. Is that off-putting? Is that motivating? You know, is that distracting? Ultimately, you must win on Saturday night.
Yeah, I've got to win on Saturday night, but it's fun. It's what I'm in the game for. I'm in the game to have these Twitter spats back and forth to build some and put a bit of needle in between a fight and let these people know that I don't care what background you have, ABA this, amateur this, you've done this, that and the other. That means nothing to me. This is the pro game now. It's professional boxing, and I do that very well. And push, shove, whatever, all comes to the end is that I can fight, and I've got a set of bleep on me that are big, and you're not going to get through me on Saturday night, and the same goes for Michael Coffey.
Well, fast emerging as one of the big names in British boxing, the British heavyweight champion Fabio Wardley against Michael Coffey for the WBA Continental Heavyweight Championship on Saturday night. A tremendous undercard. We're going to pose now for head-to-heads up here before we have a small break before we return with AJ against Franklin.
I do like that. I like that. You know, I like Fabio Wardley's confidence.
Yeah.
Good speaker, Fabio.
Oh, really good speaker, really good fighter. Every time I see him on the card, I'm buzzing because he brings it every single time. Like I know Fabio, spending a bit of time with him on these shows. It's like he needs to take a shot to get going, but that makes him very exciting. He gets caught with a shot and then he'll come firing in. Very intelligent inside and outside the ring, and yeah, glad he's on the card.
Yeah, glad he's on his card. Indeed, Nathan Gorman last time out, and you're right, he took a shot from Nathan Gorman. It woke him up, and in the end, he got rid of Nathan Gorman. It is a shame he's not defending that British title because he wants to win it outright, but in Michael Coffey, he does have a dangerous American. That's big, that's strong, and I like it as well because it brings a different kind of style approach for him as well. So he's learning different styles in there.
Coffey can fight. He's dangerous. He loads up with shots, he switches, he makes it difficult for opponents. And
Derek Chisora loves being in every shot, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah. He does. You said he'll come to the opening of an envelope.
I did not say that, just in case Derek Chisora listens to that back. That was certainly not me. That was Mr. Darren Barker. But they are going to do face-offs. What is it like in that moment? You've done this, you know, press conference and a face-off. Are you looking at your opponent trying to gauge something, or is it just a case of a formality just to tick a box?
I think early days you kind of take something away from it, but as you get more experience, I think you understand it's all part and parcel of the fight week build up. But sometimes you do see the chinks. I always liked it when people...
There you go, Chisora again.
Yep.
There you go. There's good old Del Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, War Chisora nowadays.
War Chisora,
It is War Chisora.
See, Jurgen there, very good fighter. Well supported Albanian.
Yeah.
He would have sold some tickets for sure, and he can fight. And Peter as well, the big heavyweight. He's coming back from a loss. So he needs to look good.
Yeah, you see that little QR code in the corner of the screen right there? scan that. You want to watch the boxing on Saturday, that's the place to do it. Scan that QR code. Make sure you don't miss all the exciting action. Undercard action is going to be really good as well. Kane Baker, I mean, he's one of those people, when he retires, you're going to look back and think, wow, I mean, he fights anyone, anywhere.
Well, I mean, he said it time and time again. I remember back in the fight camp days, he's a boxing fan with a license. He absolutely loves it. He absolutely loves it. And he brings it all the time.
That's a good way of putting it, a boxing fan with a license.
Yeah, you know, he comes to fight every single time. And Jordan Flynn will know he's in a fight Saturday night.
Yeah, indeed. You know, it's very interesting to see young Campbell Hatton on this one, just because we were speaking about him earlier, weren't we? 10 fights into his pro career now. This will be his 11th. And you kind of wonder, what's the route for Campbell Hatton? I'd love to be like a fly on the wall as he's talking to his management company, 258, and Eddie, about, okay, where do we go in the next sort of 12 to 18 months?
Look, it's all baby steps. We know that. He had, you know, half a dozen, I think 15 amateur fights.
Yeah.
Learning all the time. It's about going in the right direction, and Campbell has been. You know, he's starting to show us a lot more now, a lot more thought in his work, a lot more speed and thought. And this young man here,
fire.
He would have learned a lot in Abu Dhabi.
Olympic gold medalist as well. He was supposed to be on the card in San Antonio next week. I mean, look, he's a flyweight. I mean, cutting weight in the last week is going to be difficult. As much as he's happy to be here, how difficult is the weight cut going to be for him now?
Well, look, it's all a science these days. You get every single day is crucial, and now he's had to bring it forward. So not ideal, but he's buzzing. He's on the bill.
He certainly is. Emma Wilson there versus Emma Williams. Apologies, versus Wilson Ben. Emma Williams. We want to see the Felix Cash fight next if he gets past this one. Obviously, Felix Cash not on the card, so you do wonder if that fight's going to happen. But Emma, very exciting.
Yeah, very, very good fighter. Spiteful finisher, quick hands, great variation. Every shot in his artillery, and very confident, you can see there. But this River Bent, this is his pot of gold. This is his opportunity to completely change his career and change his life.
And we have seen it. It does happen. People come in and do cause the upsets. And of course, he's got an opportunity, as you say here, an opportunity of a lifetime. And I think it's a good opportunity as well.
It is for sure, and this man here, I think, starting to fill out now into the cruiserweight. Look, he started off as a light heavy, but I don't think it was ever realistic that he would be a light heavyweight, get down to the championship weight.
That shows how big he is.
Exactly.
Eddie's
6'5", he's massive. Exactly.
That shows how big he is.
So it's starting to fill out, he's starting to mature, and he's a very good fighter.
And then Fabio Wardley versus Michael Coffey. I saw Fabio Wardley kind of put a picture up of him drinking coffee. So I don't mind a bit of coffee in the morning. I like that line. Proper. But look, I mean, everyone's called him Fabio Wardley out. David Adelaide wants a piece of him. Fraser Clark, that'll be a good British title fight as well. But all eyes on this one. He's got to get through Michael Coffey to get those fights.
Look, like I said there, we know how good Fabio Wardley is. I mean, his trajectory, the way he's improved, it is amazing with no amateur pedigree whatsoever, just a white-collar boxing scene. But Coffey can fight. Let me tell you, look, there's a couple of defeats to Jonathan Rice. The last one being a split decision, I think it was. He can fight, he's dangerous, he switches, he loads up with shots, he really does wing the hooks in. So Fabio, like we said it before, he does get caught early, so he's gonna have to stay switched on from the start.
Yeah, we've got all the icons on DAZN. Obviously, an icon of British boxing, AJ, fights this Saturday. Remember, scan the QR code, you don't want to miss that fight. An even bigger icon, some will say, Katie Taylor returns home to Ireland May 20th to take on Chantel Cameron. What a fight that's going to be.
But that was on American soil. It's only right to run it back again, don't you think? Don't you think?
The rematch between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano is officially off.
As the weeks have unfolded, she's just not going to be ready.
Katie Taylor not fighting and that fight card not happening, we have a problem.
Katie Taylor on her social media.
It's coming from Katie, so there's no excuses can be made now.
And I always said that when Chantel Cameron racked up the belts, she would be the front runner.
Undisputed champion versus undisputed champion. Both undisputed, both undefeated. No brainer.
Katie's like, no, so we'll dance at 140.
That is a tougher fight than Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor.
I love it. Sensational.
For the first time in a four-belt era, two reigning undisputed champions will face off against each other.
The Queen of Ireland, she's coming home.
Yeah, Katie Taylor versus Chantel Cameron is just one of so many huge events coming your way in DAZN over the next couple of months. In a fortnight, there's an epic lightweight showdown stateside when Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia finally lock horns. There's another homecoming on May 6th when Canelo Alvarez puts his undisputed super middleweight belts on the line against John Ryder in Mexico. And the X Series returns to the UK for its 7th edition as KSI tops the bill against Joe Fournier. As ever, check those local schedules for details on what's available in your region. All right, look what's happened here. You always know when it's a big one. When it's a big one, when the boys from America come across the pond for this. Great to have Barack, great to have Ak here with us as well. Gents, how excited are you for this one?
Well, first off, I got to get to the hotel and wash up because I'm here fresh off the jet from the airport.
That's him apologizing for the stench.
Is that what that was? Yeah.
Now you know.
We need the old school smell-o-vision. That's what we need. But no, great to have you. We know you literally have just dropped off the plane. Talk to me about the excitement in America for this one, for Franklin, in terms of what people think he can do against AJ.
Well, I think people are more excited about Derek James and what he's able to do with Anthony Joshua in America. That's the question. Does that culture in Texas, around Errol Spence, around Jamel Charlo, does something to Anthony Joshua? I believe so. The Americans want to, they want to know. Obviously, Franklin, he has nothing to lose. Like, he's here to gain the world right now, pulling off an upset. But I think when you talk about America, that's the real question.
It's interesting, though, isn't it, Barack? Because I remember that same line there about Franklin has nothing to lose. We said exactly the same thing about Ruiz. Yeah. When Ruiz got that shot all those years ago at Madison Square Garden, he has nothing to lose, and it changed his life, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. I think Americans are fickle. I think they're just really wondering, if these questions are going to be answered. Does Joshua still have it? Is he going to be that same guy he was when he fought Dominic Brazil and guys like that? I think that's what Americans are waiting for. And you're right. This could be another Ruiz. I think Jermaine Franklin is skillful like that, but I just think that Joshua going to America is going to tweak something inside of him, and we're going to see a different Joshua.
Is there any talk in the States about a potential AJ Wilder contest?
Well, that's been all the talk since the beginning of time. In my opinion, that's still one of the biggest fights in the heavyweight division. If you're going to exclude the undisputed crown, right, between Usyk and AJ, there's no other bigger fight.
Do you know what I've called that fight? Have you heard what I've called it?
No. What?
Chaos in Lagos. That fight's got to go back to Nigeria. Chaos in Lagos for AJ versus Wilder.
I like that.
You like that, right?
You could promote
I've already copyrighted it. I've trademarked the whole thing already. What do we need to see from AJ? Like I've said openly, like a win's almost just not enough. Like we almost want to see, as you mentioned, Brazil, Molina, destructive AJ. Does it need to be a knockout, or is it a case of just get the W?
Absolutely, it needs to be a knockout. It needs to be the aggressive AJ that we know him to be. I believe Derek can get that out of him. We spoke to Derek a few weeks ago, and he touched on some of the things that he's tweaking, but he talked about AJ athleticism, right? What he does in the ring, like you're seeing right here against Dillian White. We know he has that in him. Derek James wants to bring that out of him. I don't think a decision will go well. We know this is boxing, and you got to be prepared for 12. I just think we're going to see a vicious AJ. He has a chip on his shoulder.
Well, let me give you a little twist, because this is the AJ that we want to see. All we really want to see is a confident AJ, no matter the turnout. It just so happens that he's that kind of puncher that we're going to see a knockout if he's confident.
Have people read too much into the Usyk defeats? Like, I was lucky enough to be ringside for both of them. And you're talking about Usyk, pound for pound number one, a lot of people say. That's who AJ lost to, the pound for pound number one. Have we read too much into those defeats?
Possibly. Look, he lost to a very good fighter twice, a guy that was put on this planet to box. You can see him there, just an absolute boxing genius. His ring IQ is on another level. It really is. I mean, he does things that not many fighters can do. Certainly as a heavyweight. His kind of disadvantage, if you like, his size, he makes it as an advantage, the speed. So I think if you're AJ, you think, look, I've lost to a very good guy. I can come back. But for me, he has to win. Look, I agree that you want to look good. That confidence got to be there. Part of me just thinks this is, they've called it here the new dawn. It's just about winning now. There's so much achievements that he can be proud of, Anthony Joshua. Now it's just going in there and probably enjoy this more than he had his old career, knowing that he's achieved so much.
Right, I think when, like, Campbell Hatton lost to Manny Pacquiao, or when he lost to, I'm sorry, Campbell. Oh, my God.
Just got off a flight. It's okay. We get it. We get it.
When Ricky Hatton lost to Floyd or Manny Pacquiao, he can look and say those guys were the best because he gave his all. That's the thing. After the fight, with Usyk, we kind of looked at Joshua and say, you didn't give your all. And maybe that's what he's thinking to himself as well. We didn't see that same Joshua we saw before. So can he just say, hey, I lost to the best? Or is he saying, I didn't bring out my all?
Do you know what? I think he can look back at that fight and think, do you know what? I was a little rebellious. I was a little rebellious where I thought he was annoyed that he was so-called not the underdog, but he was in there with a master boxer, and I think he tried to prove to everybody he could outbox Usyk.
Did he do that in the second fight?
Well, in the second fight,
what did we see in the second fight? Did we see improvements from AJ in the second?
100%. I think that's what you can take from that loss, right? He had moments in that fight. In the first fight, where you saw him hurt Usyk. He wasn't able to capitalize on that moment, but he did hurt Usyk in the first, so we know he can hurt him. In the second fight, he had more success. Obviously not enough to win a fight, but moments that he can take from to say, all right, I can compete at that level. I wasn't my best, but I can compete with this guy. I think that he can take that little confidence.
I agree with what you're saying there, because there will be that head scratching thinking, I could have done more. I could have done more. I could have closed the gap. I could have let my bombs go a bit earlier and sustained an attack. So there will be those question marks, but you can take solace from that and peace knowing that you could have done more. It's not like AJ fought out of his skin and lost twice. There was more to give, I feel.
And at the end of the day, you fought better in the second fight, but was that the right game plan to get the victory? You know, guys like Jermaine Taylor fought Kelly Pavlik better the second fight, but still lost. So it's about getting the proper game plan that's going to get you the victory moving forward.
What did you all make of what happened after the fight, second time round, where AJ took the mic and obviously went on what some are labeling a rant? What did you make of that? Was it just a case of he did almost have a small breakdown in the ring? What did you read into it?
Well, I mean, I've had breakdowns in my fight and rants before, so frustration built up from
you do that
a country.
every day, like regularly.
Yeah, probably, but a country that adored him, loved him. Look, we were here in 2018 against Povetkin, and it was raining out. People were there with their ponchos. They didn't leave their seats drinking beers. They loved AJ, and then they flipped on him a little bit, and that can get to any human being. I don't care how much mental strength you have and how tough you are. That'll get to anybody. He wasn't proud of it. He mentioned it. Yep. It was a breakdown. We're past it now. Now it's back to fighting, back to business. So I'm over that.
Can I say something about that? Like, there is no emotions like fighting, right, Darren? Like, no matter what you do in your life, there is no emotions like fighting another human being. Can we give him a little leeway? He just fought, and then on top of that, he lost. Yeah. You ever lose? Like, losing is hell.
It is. I mean, it's like grief. It's like grieving. When you lose, it's that painful. The winning is so great. The losing is soul shattering. And I can understand, you know, all of what he should have done or should have done. In some respects, you want to see that. You want to see that moment. You want to see that passion. He doesn't like losing. He doesn't like to lose. So
give him a little moment.
I would be honest. I prefer that than the energy we got after the Ruiz loss, the first loss. That was energy where, nah, this is not who I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be losing. I'm not supposed to be in this point. Maybe he took it too far, but to your point, that's passion. That's what you want to see inside the ring, and I think that's what we're going to see on Saturday. So I'm over that. You know, it was a moment. It's old news.
Yeah, it is old news indeed. But I sat down with AJ a few weeks ago and done what I like to do. The most important thing for me, eat. But AJ's kind of big as well. He likes to eat as well. Me and AJ tasted some of my local cuisine. All right, workout done, and what do you do after you work out? You eat. And I decided, you know what, to treat AJ to some traditional Nigerian food.
And listen, I'm not complaining.
Of course he's not complaining. You got to load up the stomach. How do you think you got these muscles? You got to load up the stomach. Rachel has provided this glorious food for us.
Special delivery from Harvest Afro Caribbean. Yeah. We're based in Windsor, and we have everything in there for you. Yeah. And we know that you guys have to drink something, so you've got your Nigerian
we got first Nigerian Fanta.
Nigerian Fanta.
Nigerian
Keep
Fanta.
it real, exactly.
By the way, there's about 100 cameramen behind us, and all of them think they're going to get something. Ain't getting nothing. Look at this. Bye. I see fish, I see jollof rice, I see a bit of rice and peas here. We've got some jerk wings, we've got some egusi. That looks like pounded jam. We've got plantain.
Yes.
What are you thinking first, AJ?
I'm going with the rice. Yeah. I'm going to go with some
that sauce looks
fish
good.
And some sauce.
That sauce looks good.
Carbohydrates.
Okay, are you starting? Okay.
Yeah. and then we've got some protein. And
I was thinking that as well. I was thinking
You're thinking of the flavours.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So yeah, and let's just charge up again after a gym session. You just want to charge up again, really, and refuel. So here we got some like vegetable chili stew. I'm gonna nick one of these.
Little jerk wing there.
Jerk wings.
What's your everyday diet like now? Strict?
Well, it's not far off of this.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because in sport, these are the basics of what you need to refuel. I put it like this: fruits and veg is like your minerals.
Yeah.
Rice is from the carbohydrates, and the fish and the chicken to like give me the protein to repair my muscles. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're an everyday working person, you can get the benefits of good tasting food while getting the health benefits from it as well.
Yeah. You can tell she made this fresh.
I know you're putting them secret ingredients.
As soon as I said AJ, it's like, oh, AJ!
They brought out the pot from the back, sprinkled that.
that pot with the black burn on the bottom. Do you count calories?
I don't personally. My team do. After a hard training session, the last thing I want to do is go and eat a big meal because it's tiring. Yeah. But the guys are pushing me like, come on, you've got to get the fuel back in. Eat. So I'm just like softening it down. But the results in the long run are my engine can go for a lot further.
As we get closer to April 1st, does the diet change completely?
It's the Rocky Marciano diet. What he would do is a week before the fight, he would have the same meal every day. So like your digestive system gets used to that. It's not always trying to break down different foods. Your body gets, it just gets used to what you're eating on a daily basis. Same breakfast, same lunch, same dinner.
When you are away, obviously you're going to be in Texas soon. Do you try and find spots like this?
Unfortunately, no. This is grind mode.
Yeah, I'm not trying to create home in Texas. I'm in Texas to work.
To work, yeah. For me personally, I'm an athlete where I try and like look after myself because I'm not just thinking of today. I'm thinking 10 years down the line. The damage and impacts I'm putting my body through, I'm trying to preserve myself for when I'm a lot older.
And I have to be honest, I'll probably wash it down with the water.
No Fanta.
That sugar in that?
Well, you know what?
Go on.
If you're training hard,
yeah,
it's fine to have a Fanta.
Okay.
Because you're going to burn it.
I'm going to feel so bad tonight eating a pizza.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing it. It's cancelled. It's cancelled.
Chinese instead.
Thank you to Rachel, who provided all this wonderful food for us. Cameraman, be gone. And let us enjoy our next hour or so. Thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed that. You know, the worst thing is, when the camera's on you, you can't really eat the way you want to eat. I wanted to tuck in. As soon as that camera went off, the real Ade came out. I tucked in.
You've never eaten with me on camera because I forget that the cameras are rolling.
How was the food? Was it real legit
Food was
Nigerian
good. Real good food. I don't know if you saw it, but there was like a Fanta there, and they call it like a Nigerian Fanta. And AJ's nutritionist was right there. And AJ wanted to back the drink. He was like, 1 second. AJ was like, it's okay, look at me. Like, I want to take the drink. He just sipped it. I took the whole drink.
Drug test.
We're coming in here. Who knows what's in that Nigerian Fanta?
Exactly. Indeed it is. All right, look, I want to talk about AJ and going to Dallas, Texas. Look, Robert Garcia was his former trainer. And I never liked the fact that Robert Garcia came to Loughborough to train AJ. I've always felt like if AJ wants to get the best out of Robert Garcia, he needs to go to Oxnard, California, where he's got that gym. What do you make of AJ saying, okay, we have to go to Dallas, Texas. We need to be around Charlo, Spence, Frank Martin?
I just think that, to your point, the fact that he did have an American trainer here in the UK, and I guess it didn't translate the way he expected, and that's why he made that move. But look, I thought Derek James was a perfect match, especially after speaking to him and what he pointed out that AJ brings to the table and what needs to be pushed. You know, you don't try to change a guy in one training camp. We all know that that's impossible, right? You enhance what you know, what his strengths are, right?
100%.
And we know what his strengths are. He has power, he has size. And one thing that Derek said is athleticism. And I don't know what they're doing in Texas, man. I've seen clips and little, and I spoke to some people that are in the camp. They're saying AJ's showing that athleticism. So, there's no question.
He's a beast.
I don't want to act like Robert Garcia wasn't a good trainer. Right, I just want to think that you got to be in a gym where you're not number one. After a while, to be humbled, you got to be in a gym where you're not the number one guy. And if he would leave and go in Robert Garcia's gym, you're not the number one guy anymore. You're going to see Virgil Ortiz and everybody else outworking you, perhaps. And I think that's going to be the difference that he has in Texas.
But just to add to that real quick, Darren, You know, when you think
Darren,
about
by the way, when these two are here, you got to jump in.
No comment. Matter of fact, put your mics down.
Just got to jump
Put your
in.
mics down. It's over.
Look, on a serious note, think about the guys that he's brought to the top, right? Errol Spence, aggressive power machine. He turned Jermell Charlo into a puncher and aggressive, right? So that's what we love to see in AJ. Right?
That's exactly what I was about to jump in and say there. I don't think it's too much. You're going to change too much, exactly what you said there. But it's going to be doing what he does on the front foot. Aggressive counter-punching, aggressive boxing on the front foot. I think it's a great move, and I think you touched on it there. Look, success breeds success. Not being number one. Wanting to be the best in the gym. Striving to be the best in the gym when you're not. I mean, I've been there myself. As an amateur, I've been from the famous Repton Amateur Boxing Club. You know, I wanted my face on the wall. I wanted to be the best down the gym, and that constant competitive, you know, I guess battle all the time with your gym mates is great for AJ at this stage in his career.
You know what's crazy is that when Anthony went on that tour, that trainer tour in America, do you know, we spoke to every trainer he went to, they were all saying the same thing, what you just said, getting him on the front foot, and that they can make him beat Usyk and make him to a fighter that could beat Usyk. He just didn't
I think Errol and Jermell used to say iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, there's a lot of iron in that gym.
I think the Bible says that first before.
Is it the Bible?
Even Canelo said if he spends time with Eddie, AJ will be able to beat every heavyweight in the world. So they all see the potential in him.
I like it. Talking about gyms, I actually did a training session. Your boy Trudy did a training session.
After the food session.
No, this was actually before the food. I told him it's got to be before the food. Eddie, myself, Derek James, AJ, take a look at this.
So what are you, left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed sometimes.
Okay. So you here? So we're gonna punch and step.
Okay, so we're gonna do that.
Yep. Now we're gonna do two. So rotate the body.
Okay.
Let's go. Yep.
That.
Yeah. So now this time we're gonna go three. So it's gonna. So you're going seven. So 1, 2. And I'm not stepping here. I'm stepping here. With the stepping to power. Boom.
Yeah. Okay. Anthony likes that left hook as well.
Right,
yeah, that's your good fight.
Because he's created the angle.
Yeah.
Right.
That's that left hook that you dropped Ruiz with.
A good uppercut and a hook puts Ruiz down. Wow, that was fast from Joshua.
Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah.
Boom. Right.
And I can't lie, I don't know how he got up. To this day, I don't know how he got up because you landed that knee. Here we go. So we're going.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is difficult. You lose balance.
You knocked yourself out.
We're gonna get this. We're gonna keep on trying.
So
I thought that was a solid 4 out of 10.
I
was solid 4.
Yeah.
3, 4.
Because so much about it is that one.
One step.
Yeah. So you going.
The punches he's asking you to throw are actually the best 3 punches in boxing for orthodox, right?
Yeah.
The jab, the right hand,
and that hook.
The left hook.
Oh, yes.
Joshua steps was made a big hook in the right hand. Joshua tried everything, a big right hand. And this is over. Joshua right hand, and down goes Pulev, and that's it. And there is your ferocious finish.
Wow. You know what I like? They edited that well for me.
We're going to have to take
They edited that well. If you see the full clip of that, it ain't great. And I didn't want you to see it, or you, but all of you actually, because all of you can throw hands. I was embarrassed. I think after AJ was like,
right to be embarrassed.
what did AJ say? AJ said, so wait 1 sec, you critique all the fighters from your green chair. Get rid of the green chair. That's what he said. He said, get rid of the green chair. It's a good link up though, isn't it? I mean, AJ and Derek James almost seems like, I wouldn't say father and son, almost like sort of older brother, younger brother.
Yeah. OG, so to speak.
OG, yeah, that's kind of what the link up is, right?
It's going to turn out being teacher-student. You know, but they have a friendship, and I think that's what's different. They kind of blend off camera, and that's what it takes for him to listen a little bit easier, I believe.
But I think the real question is going to be answered on Saturday, especially if AJ looks spectacular. I think that relationship is really going to get curated.
You know what it is, though? A lot of times, like, we give so much slack to the trainer, like Robert Garcia or anybody. We got to know if AJ is following the game plan.
Still boxes to tick. There is. How much desire is left.
Yeah.
But what I will say, with that partnership there, you hear it time and time again, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. He looks happy. He looks like he's working hard, but he looks at home where he is.
Right.
He is. He looks a lot bigger as well. Again, we're going to have AJ on the top table in a few moments. He's going to join us as well. I'm going to need a step ladder. I'm going to need. He does look a lot bigger. It's that food. See the food? It is that food. Darren's going to leave us. Darren, obviously, lead commentator for us before the bell. Loads of prep for Darren to do.
Yes.
This kicks off. I'm sorry, I do this. We've got more minutes to talk. We can talk more. Okay. Perfect. even great stuff there.
I'm leaving you too.
No, stay there, Darren. Jermaine Franklin. Let's talk about Jermaine Franklin. Obviously, we're focusing on AJ, and rightly so. Jermaine Franklin's coming a lot slimmer. He's almost been hidden away as well. We don't know what's going on in fight camp with Jermaine Franklin. Right. What problems do you think he can cause to AJ? Is it the hand speed? A lot of people have been saying that.
Experience. I mean, he's been a fighter since a young age. We all know that AJ started late in this game, got fast-tracked to a gold medal and to championships. So I think Franklin brings the experience in there. A lot of people felt that he beat Dillian White. I'm going to put that out there. Right? It was a very close fight. So he has that, I guess in his repertoire. Like, I don't really feel like I've lost the fight yet. I think so. I think he brings skill, set, all of those things that he'll pose a threat to any heavyweight. So that's what he brings to the table. I think it's all about what AJ is going to bring to that.
I think psychologically you could look at that and say, damn, he's losing weight. He's really getting into shape. But guess what? The dude had a job the other day.
Yeah.
This is the first fight where I'm going to make enough money where I don't have to work, so now I can put 100% in. So that's just the direct
results. He's going to be even more motivated right now.
Right. There's nobody in this thing more motivated than him because this could change his life right now. You know what I mean? But does he have the heart and the will to go through that kind of adversity when everybody's screaming at you and you're fighting to kill him?
I think he does have heart. I think we see that against Dillian White. There was times there where he could have shut up shop and just sort of survived, but he come firing back every single time.
Didn't give up.
I think on a tactical sort of basis, I think his footwork is crucial in this fight. If we're going to see AJ on the front foot, what we are expecting him to do, then Franklin's going to have to nullify that with his own movement. He's going to have to try and circle back to the center of the ring. He cannot be forced back onto the ropes. He cannot spend time on the ropes or in the corner. And I think, like you said there, hand speed is I mean, massive in this fight. He's got to try and draw out the lead of AJ, fire back with quick counters, but he's going to have to remain disciplined for every second of this fight, because if he gets caught, AJ can take your head off. We know that.
Have you guys heard of London traffic? Have you heard of that phrase, London traffic?
We've experienced it on the way here.
Okay, well, we're experiencing it as well. The big boys are making their way, but there is a bit of traffic. There will be on that top table in a few moments. Remember, though, this is how you can watch the main event on Saturday night.
So you want to watch the big fight? Catch Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin on any device. TV, console, mobile or tablet. We're on it. Sign up at DAZN.com, or if you're a Sky customer, simply visit channel 429 and get all AJ's fights as well as the ultimate boxing lineup.
And there you see Joshua just using that jab. Third knockdown of the fight for Anthony Joshua. Right hand, and down goes Pula, and that's it.
Oh! Watching him with a huge right uppercut.
Power shots from both sides.
Joshua's going for the wow! And that might just be that. Joshua unloading, and that'll do it.